Yes, welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. This is the Rapid Done right here on Rapid Television. Thank you so much, Emmanuel and Eva, for always giving us top-notch sports analysis right here on the program. While we're on break, Martha and her, Martha and her should I call him a co-host? Co-friend, co-conspirators. They were busy, bashing me off air, talking about the fact that Arsenal Football Club has not been able to lift any trophies in recent times, and they
In
say
recent times,
in recent times, Martha,
about 2 decades.
that is still in recent times.
How 2 decades recent?
And I told him in my defense that Arsenal has been that club, that have raised lots of professional players that have gone on to other clubs to be very much instrumental to the raising of their own trophies.
So you should change to Arsenal Training Club, not
No,
Football Club.
Funny thing.
Arsenal Training Club.
Funny thing. In the days of Arsene Wenger, right? Those are the things that we did. We had to just we drilled the gold. We
I
brought
get
out
them before no be property.
the Lord bless you. All right, let's not talk about it anymore, anyways. But of course, let's get straight to the 9 o'clock hour where we'll have the big conversation. And yes, the fight and the controversy, surrounding tinted glass permit is on the news again. The Nigerian Bar Association has currently sued the Nigerian Police Force, or rather, they've dragged the Inspector General of Police to court, challenging the suspension of the issuance of tinted glass permit by the police. Of course, the police are arguing that tinted glasses aid criminals in concealing weapons and their activities. But the NBA insists that the directive infringes on citizens' constitutional rights and fuels harassment of law-abiding Nigerians. And so this very legal battle raises critical questions about the balance between national security and individual freedom. And today we have a lawyer who is going to be sharing with us his in-depth knowledge on this particular issue. And our lawyer is Francis Daiko. Thanks so much for being here with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's
a
good to
pleasure
have
to
you.
be here.
Thank you very much. Let's dive into the conversation. From a legal standpoint, what specific rights or provisions of the Constitution does the NBA believe that the IGP's ban on tinted glass permits violates?
Okay, first we'll start with freedom of movement.
Okay.
Every Nigerian is entitled to move from one place to another. With this advent of tinted permits, forcing people to get tinted permits, some people cannot move around freely with their cars.
Okay.
I'm scared to go out because I don't have a permit. If I don't have a permit, the police will stop me and infringe on my freedom to movement. Freedom to own property, because if I own a property and I can't use it, means I don't have it, right?
Okay.
So those are the constitutional provisions infringing on.
All right, but if you look at the freedom of movement, someone who owns a car can basically move with his car, but right now, because the law currently does not permit tinted glasses, so don't you think that an individual who owns a car and then his glasses are tinted, which of course is against the law, is that individual not infringing or basically breaking the law by owning a tinted glass without a permit?
Okay, it's not against the law right now.
Okay.
It's for the court to determine.
Okay.
We've gone to court. What the IGP is relying on is a 1991 decree, a military decree. We're in a democratic era.
Okay.
We are not in a military decree where you tell us, oh yeah, do this, don't do this. The decree enables the IGP to make regulations relating to tinted permits.
Okay.
Yes. But now, when democratic setting, should it still hold water? That's what the NBA has gone to court for.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Martha.
Now let's talk about the NBA in general. Why? Because one of the major reasons this has become such a conversation in the social space is why the NBA at all took it upon themselves to sue the IGP. Because in previous times, we have seen a lot of decrees that are being made that are against the Constitution, and we didn't see the NBA outrightly come out to sue the IGP or the federal government. Why now?
It has become expedient. It has become important. Because if you live in Abuja, recently you know that movement has been somehow. I stay in Gerki. In Area 1 alone, there are about 3 checkpoints.
Okay.
Movement has been restricted because there's so much traffic. Sometimes I look for alternative routes to dodge because I can't just stay in traffic wasting my time. I have things to do. And so many people are complaining up and down. And there's a narrative the media is carrying around.
Okay.
The NBA and IGP, the police in general, they are not fighting. We are not at war. We are both trying to make the law work, and the police is trying to ensure the security of the citizenry. So we are not fighting. We are leaving it for the court to determine.
Okay.
And when the court determines, it will aid the police in doing the right thing, following the law.
Okay.
So please, that narrative should change.
Okay.
There's no fight between the NBA
And the
police.
police.
We just want to make a definite position and telling the police to follow the law.
The law.
All right.
Okay. Police often argue, just like my colleague stated here, that the police often argues that the reason for these regulations because criminals continue to terrorize cities, not just in the FCT, but different parts of Nigeria. And it has aided in criminal activities, in the increase or the rise of criminal activities here in Nigeria. However, there is a 2015 US Department report that says that regardless of tint permit or not, criminals are still eminent in the society, or criminals still adapt, however they call it, in society. Now, how do we strike a balance between legitimate security concerns and the constitutional rights of citizens?
Okay, first, tint or without tint, criminals will always operate.
Okay.
The police have a right to stop anybody and search anybody anytime.
Okay.
If you are with tint or you are without tint, is there no trunk? Can't there be things in the trunk? If we're just talking about the tint, there can be things in the trunk. So they have a right to stop anybody they reasonably suspect to be carrying out a crime.
Okay.
So this tint or tint doesn't stop them from carrying out their duties.
Okay.
You know,
Yes.
and then there are some arguments as well by Nigerians that some Nigerians actually buy their cars, and those cars on factory settings comes with tinted glasses. You know, and the fact that right now the Nigerian police force criminalizes those with tinted glasses. You know, how can this, have a balance? Because individuals might not be able to get down to maybe a mechanic shop and take away that tint that comes with a new car.
Are they even removable?
That's another question.
Okay, so before this tinted permits thing didn't start today.
Of course.
It has always been there. So what we have now, before they started it and stopped it.
Okay.
Because the big goons, it was affecting the big goons.
Okay.
So they stopped it. Now they are coming back to it. Is it going to work? I don't think it's going to work.
Why?
They are just disturbing Nigerians. We have a lot of things. So, okay, 3 days back, I was at Apo Mechanic Village to fix my AC. The guy fixing the AC said he was kidnapped. He was coming from Imo State. He was kidnapped in Kogi State. He was kidnapped. And luckily, they escaped.
Okay.
While the money was on the way coming. So I don't know what happened, but they escaped. They came out, they saw police. Police did interview with phone and just told them to go. They didn't even go there because they could follow them or they could trace. In fact, they know where those criminals are.
Right.
We have a lot of issues to treat in Nigeria, to handle. Tinted shouldn't be our problem right now. Nigerians are paying a lot.
Okay.
Recently, car papers to get it became very high. Before it was around 10, 11,000.
Yeah.
Now it's around 35,000.
Wow.
All these things just to own a car. Fuel has been increased.
Sure.
Nigerians are going through a lot. We don't need this right now. If they want to do tinted permit, let them make it free.
Okay. Now you talked about the fact that the tinted permit affected the big goons in quote. How did it affect them?
Okay, you know how Nigeria works. They will make a law that should affect everybody. Then when the big people, it starts, because if there's traffic, it will affect a minister coming. If the road is blocked, they are carrying out a search. It will affect the minister. So
what about their own cars? Because the thing is, in fact, they use tints the most for their convoys, for their vehicles and what have you. And Nigerians have decided to understand, just because, their location for security reasons. Is that excuse, is it invalid when it comes to citizens as well?
it's not invalid because I, as a lawyer, there are some people that I'm a target to some people.
Of course.
You, as a media personality, you may offend somebody. Now, aside all this, you know Nigeria is very hot, right? For me, I can't use a car that is not tinted. Because there's this cozy feel. I know there's this cozy feel it gives.
Comfort.
Yeah.
There's this very cozy feel. And I like it. So we're leaving it for the courts to determine. When the court determines, we're hoping that they will put a stop to it for now. Though they've not started implementation.
Okay.
But you agree with me that out there, they are still stopping people every time.
Okay.
People are being disturbed. And it has become an avenue for extortion of Nigerians. We know how this country works. People are being extorted daily. Okay, you don't have tinted permits, bring money. That's what we hear.
I actually did see a video over the weekend where this guy he was actually battered on, I think it was one of those eastern states again, where he was asked for his tint permit and he didn't have it. It had expired like a few days before, and he said he's trying to process it. It's not as fast as possible because the whole portal was crowded, and he was actually battered by the police for because he didn't have his tint permit. Now, are there provisions for the law? I know that there are provisions for assault, that backs citizens against assault, either by the government or by the security operatives here in Nigeria. In cases like this, since it's a matter that is being deliberated in court still at this minute, how do you think citizens can approach matters like this?
Okay, so recently, I must applaud the police. They've been trying. If you come online, if you come on TikTok, on X, formerly Twitter, you see there are a lot of police PROs out there telling people to report assault, to report abuse. Their handles are there, their phone numbers are there displayed. If you report any police officer that is erring, if investigation is carried out, the police can be chased away from the force.
Okay. Now, what are the chances of the NBA against the Nigerian police force as regards this tinted glass permit? We know that the case, of course, is in court. Not trying to preempt the whole situation, but what are the chances that the NBA can actually win the legal battle against the Nigerian police force to ensure that the tinted glass permit is taken away from that framework?
Okay, so the NBA is asking some salient questions, which will be answered by the court. One of them is that, why is this money being paid to a private organization? Why is it not going to the Treasury single account, TSA, where you use remitter, and we know it's going to the federal government, where the money can be used? So those are part of the questions that the NBA is asking. Then they are asking, under what law, this decree now of 1991, should this still be tenable in a democratic situation? Then, this money that Nigerians are paying, is it not too much? We are suffering a lot. Now, in 2026, they say we're going to be paying tax for fuel. After fuel price has been increased, we'll start paying tax to buy fuel again. This is too much for Nigerians.
Just to educate the more Nigerians, how much is the tinted glass permit?
I checked their site this morning before coming. I couldn't access it. They sent OTP. But the price is around 15,000 naira.
Okay.
And it's not just that 15,000. If you go to for physical inspection, you need to bless some people so it can come out faster.
How long is this tint permit going to last for?
1 year. You have to renew every year.
Every year you pay 15,000.
Yes, to have a permit. You are still paying for your car papers. So another issue, I don't know if it's part of you people's agenda, but I think our agencies should share data.
Okay.
There's VIO, there's FRSC. They are all dealing with vehicles. Share data. Share data. Why am I still going to do inspection after I did inspection to get my papers? They should share data and start duplicating offices, duplicating positions.
We talked about data sharing earlier on the program. Today actually, where we talked about the fact that NIDA DG, they'll be partnering with some big tech companies globally, maybe continentally, or even in Nigeria, to ensure that our data is preserved, and maybe we'll have a better data as it is. But looking at your argument, as regards the tinted glass permit, is the NBA basically looking at not playing now, working with the emotions of Nigerians at this point in time? Because we do understand that Nigerians are emotional at this point. Yes, we're vulnerable. Yes, things are tough at this point in time. Are you guys leveraging on that emotion of Nigerians to fight the tinted glass permit battle? Also, looking at the security that the Nigerian police force has also brought in as their argument.
Insecurity is always going to be there. The NBA is not saying the police do not have a right to ask for tinted. They are saying they should do it under a law.
Okay.
A law that is tenable. Let the National Assembly come up with a law. This, we're relying on a decree. I don't know how old or young you are, but military era, it wasn't really rosy.
Truly.
And there were some draconian laws. Now, the military, maybe they did it that time because they wanted to be seeing everybody, and it's military rule. They want to be seeing everybody. They don't want anybody to. They were cool can come up, so they want to see everybody. So I think that was why they made the decree that time.
Okay.
Now there should be freedom.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about selective enforcement, because I know we've talked about the elite class, and from your own observation, the only major problem that it poses to them is the fact that there are going to be roadblocks. If other citizens are being stopped to be searched and questioned about their permit, there will be questions that will arise, and it will elongate the whole process, which will cause traffic for the elite class. But nobody is talking about them also using the tint permit, because of course Nigerians will automatically make an excuse for them, and some of these bodies will automatically make an excuse for them. Now, we're talking about governors, political elite. You know, the people that use the SUVs that are heavily tinted and move around the city. What does this selective enforcement reveal about the class problem in the Nigerian law enforcement?
Yes, so the law shouldn't be selective. It should be applicable to everyone. If you are saying Martha should get a tinted permit, Minister too should get a permit. Because they are saying, okay, come and tell us reason why you think you should use a tinted permit. Is it for health? Does ray of sun affect your eyes? Is it for security? Do you feel your life is threatened? For me, I can feel my life is threatened. Personally, no, I have to talk personally. Mine is not for health, it's for comfort. I like the comfort it comes with. So there shouldn't be selective enforcement. It should be for everybody. If in the end they said everybody should get tinted permit, then so be it, let everybody get.
All right. Now there's some arguments online by Nigerians, of course, saying that right now the NBA is focusing on the tinted glass permit, and that's the reason they've dragged the MPF to court. And Nigerians are saying, according to some of the reports I saw online, that there are other issues that are biting hard on Nigerians. Earlier on, you mentioned the 5% tax on fuel that is going to be starting by 2026. The NBA hasn't done anything on that regard. I don't think you've intervened or sued the presidency to court for that particular one. So Nigerians are asking, is the tinted glass permit more important than other of these economic challenges that is biting Nigerians at this point in time?
If you've been following Nigeria, you know we always have issues. There are so many issues, and you can't fight it all. You can't fight all the issues. We have a lot of issues.
So is this more important than maybe the RAMFAC are trying to increase the salaries of the public office holder? Is this also more important than the fuel tax that is going to be taking effect in 2026?
No one is more important.
Okay, so
they are all
why this
important.
now?
I don't represent the NBA.
Of course not.
I'm not a member of the elected officials of NBA. I'm just a lawyer. They've chosen to do this, and we're trying to see reasons with them, and also see reasons with the police. The police, they are not wrong. There's security challenge. This is how they feel. But we are saying they should focus on more important things that affect the people. Let there be more checkpoints. The people that
more
kidnapped-
checkpoints or less, more checkpoints, because from the conversation we've been having, checkpoints seem to be the problem we're having here in
big
Nigeria.
problem.
In fact, sometime last week when we went into the market, the people in the marketplace also did highlight that we have too many checkpoints with less effects
When I say
whatsoever.
more checkpoints, I'm
Okay.
not talking about the city center.
Okay.
I'm talking about the express where people cannot travel. Somebody cannot go. People that cannot afford flights now, they use flights because of the insecurity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are saying, let them go into the bush. Let them get these criminals out. Not focus on us. We,
Who
the
are just
people,
using
just
the
trying to
cars.
live our lives and survive as Nigerians that we are.
But of course, if you also look at them, somehow we're still all circling around the argument on insecurity. If you also look at the reason the Nigerian police force is also citing, again, it's for the purpose of security, to ensure that Nigerians are also protected. In as much as we have the invasion of the terrorists in some of these rural areas, the northern part of Nigeria more, but again, if you look at it gradually, they are also moving into the cities of Nigeria. And the NPF is saying one of the ways that these guys get into the nation is through the use of vehicles that have tinted glasses. And so with the permit, somehow they can be able to regulate and know exactly who these individuals are. So without your permit, then you've got to answer some questions. But security is still a major factor, as part of their argument. So if you're looking at taking away just or trying to put more value to the security in the rural areas than in the urban areas, then again, it might not be entirely balanced.
We are saying they should spread their tentacles. Let them spread their tentacles and go around.
Okay.
And not just focus on me that's just trying to live my life here. Let them go around. Let them spread their tentacles. Stop insecurity. Look for kidnappers. Go to kidnappers then and get them out.
All right.
All right. In 2017, the Federal High Court in Enugu State, they did a ruling. Let me see if I can get my hands. Yes, ruled that the police cannot impose regulations outside the scope of the National Assembly. This was in 2017. Now, do you think the NBA case could set a landmark precedent that restrains the IGP's powers going forward?
The IGP has broad powers.
Okay.
He has broad powers. In fact, when you check the Police Act, later on you find out that they tell him like he can do anything that he feels can, no, not that he wants, that he feels can ensure security of the citizens.
Okay.
Right now, maybe he feels the tinted permit will ensure
Security.
that. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, as I stated earlier, the NBA is not trying to whittle down the power of the IGP.
Okay.
We are all working together in this temple of justice.
Okay.
But we want the right things to be done
Okay.
and done in the right way.
Okay. What if these powers that are being given, because you said he has numerous powers,
Yes.
the law allows him to make decisions that he feels is relevant at each point in time. And we can see now that he's almost the only person that shares in this perspective of the tint glass solving the problem of insecurity, which means that there might be other policies that he will come up with that are lopsided. Don't you think that these powers can be regulated? We're talking about like in the full course of the law now. Don't you think that regulating the powers of the IGP also is a way to control excesses like this?
Regulation, regulation is very broad.
Okay.
That's why I don't want to give you a specific answer.
Okay.
Regulating his powers is very broad. What can regulate his power is the act by the National Assembly,
Okay.
not by anybody, and then the court will determine anywhere that is not clear.
Okay.
Right now, it is not clear. If the IGP can rely on the 1991 decree to make this tinted permit law, that's why it's been challenged in court. So the court will determine.
The court will determine that. Okay.
All right. There are some countries basically that charges the tinted glass permit based on light percentage, light penetration percentage, right? But in Nigeria, there is that outright fee that should be paid, for the tinted glass. If Nigerians adopt such policies, give a percentage, basically, would that solve or bring a balance to this whole argument?
If you check the PUSAP website, I don't know if you've been to the website, but if you check, you can actually click. You see this thing you talked about percentage,
Right.
the percentage of how
Tint.
dark or how thin
Light,
it is. It's there actually. You can choose it. You can select it.
Okay.
And they
So-
will give you the cost.
No, the cost is straight.
Static.
It's flat.
Okay.
And so I think they tried to implement it, but maybe they didn't do it the right way.
Okay.
So there's no balance there. As it is.
Yes.
All right. I think we need to go out on a very short break, right? And when we get back, we'll keep up with this conversation. Remember, we're talking about the tint permit and the sue of the Nigerian Bar Association on the IJP for the tint permit. Let's see how the story progresses from here. Keep it locked in. All right, welcome back and thanks for staying with us. It's still Rapid Done right here on Rapid TV. And we have been having a conversation centered around the tinted glass permit. You know, this has been on for long, and I think since 2015,
Yeah.
this has been a conversation that has been on since 2015. They've been trying to, you know, kick against the tint. And personally, like our guest said, it's a very cozy feel, you know, get what I'm saying. It's a very cozy feel, but we also cannot turn a blind eye to the fact that these things can also aid the spread of criminals and kidnapping and some of these vices we now see in society. But the truth is, this is not the reason we have criminals, but it can support the activities of criminals here in Nigeria. And now the matter is still in court, hence why we might not be able to dissect the matter as much as we would love to. We'd just love to see it progress, and then when the story progresses, we can have a more definite conversation right here. But yes, our guest today is Daiko Francis. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right,
it's been a pleasure.
All right, our pleasure as well. And let's go to the very next question. Now, if the NBA wins this case, beyond tinted glasses, does this open the door for lawyers to and citizens to challenge questionable police practices like unlawful arrest, which is what we see here in Nigeria, arbitrary checkpoints or extra road taxes?
Okay, so like everybody usually says, the court is the last hope of the common man. The courts are always open. You can file a suit anytime, any day. Even while the courts are on holiday now, you can file a suit. It will be assigned when the judges resume.
Okay.
So it's always open. Anything you feel is going wrong, if you feel VIO stopping people, they don't have the power to, you take them to court. They were taken to court this year. And at a point, I don't know if you noticed, they left the roads till they came back. So anybody can challenge anything. Anything you feel is not right. The courts are open to everybody.
Okay.
Anybody can come.
At any time.
At any time.
So anybody can, but I also did see that there's a law that restrains people from suing the president. You can sue can you sue the office? Let me ask you that first. The office of the president, because I think one time we had a conversation here where it was clearly stated that you might not be able to sue the person, and the reason for that is he has other important issues that he should attend to. The immunity. So the immunity restrains people from suing him directly because he might have a lot of other issues that he needs to pay attention to. Because imagine suing imagine everyone who has a grievance against the president suing the president. Do you know how many times he will be asked to appear in court?
So you asked the question
and I answered
it. Okay. So if everybody is taking now. So if I feel the president is supposed to give me free transportation from my house to my office and he's not giving me, let me go and sue him now. So everybody, do you know how the courts will be? So we can't actually have that.
You can't sue the individual or the office of the president.
Even suing the office, you can sue the federal government. And you know the federal government operates with ministries. They have different ministries handling different things. So yes, you can go to the particular ministry the president cannot. Do you know the problems we have? Can you imagine being a president for a day in Nigeria?
Absolutely.
How many issues you have to handle? So there are departments, there are agencies that are supposed to handle these things. So when you see the police is not, you can sue the police. When you see transportation is supposed to do something, they are not. You can sue them. When you see a FEMA that is supposed to patch a road, they are not doing it, you can sue them. So you go to the Federal High Court. If you want to sue any agency of the government, you go to the Federal High Court. Yes, that's where you sue.
Okay. Now let's talk about law in a broader perspective.
Okay.
Now there are so many things that happen here in Nigeria, in this part of the world, and Nigerians are not very conversant with the law. Not many people know. I mean, this might also be an information that comes new to some people. Just on Wednesday, we were having a conversation where a gender-based activist, and she advocates for rape and all of that, said if someone looks at you in an inappropriate manner, there's a provision of the law that says if you can prove that, then the person can be tried in court, right? What do you think is responsible for the lack of interest in the knowledge of the law from the quarters of Nigerians as citizens now?
Okay, first, I will attribute it to illiteracy.
Okay.
The illiteracy rate is very high in Nigeria. Compare the number of people that have gone to school and people that haven't gone. Now, these laws are there. Nigerians generally, we don't like to read, or Africans. We don't like to read. They say if you want to hide something from an African, put it in a book.
Does that still even pass up until now? Because we have many Nigerians that are interested in reading and education.
They are trying, but what we are looking at is the percentage. Those that are interested and those that are not interested.
Okay.
That's the percentage. It's the broad perspective we are looking at. So now, these laws are there. Now, even my grandma in the village has a browsing phone, and she may not know how to browse, but she has the phone.
Yeah, she does.
These laws are there. This decree we are talking about, this tinted prohibition decree of 1991, is online. If you go online and search, it's there. Almost all our laws, they are online. So anybody that is ready to learn about the law, you go. Now, with the advent of social media, if you go to TikTok now, I try to do some content. There's a lot of education out there. We know people don't like to read, so I tell you in a video. I'm telling you in a video, telling you your rights in a video.
Okay.
So when I tell you your rights, you should know them from that. There are a lot of content out there. If you want to take 24 hours to know all your rights, like there are so many, but at least the basic ones, they are online.
Okay.
We prefer to watch comedy
and laugh.
And laugh. That's what we prefer. If not, everything we need is there, is online. There are articles, there are ebooks, there are videos out there. Go to some YouTube channels. They are there to educate you.
Okay. Now, if you look at the 2020 Police Act, it states that the Nigerian police should regulate. It empowers them to regulate and not to legislate. Going back again to the tinted glass permit saga, did the IGP have an overreach of the law by legislating the tinted glass permit rather than regulating it?
You know, you people know how to ask questions very well. Journalists, you people know how to ask questions. We're leaving it for the court to determine. When the court determines, we can have a better conversation.
Okay. Right. So when the court, I feel like you are being evasive,
right?
With most of the questions when the court determines, because what exactly we even, of course, need to know what you are suing or what you are challenging the IGP for, because in the course of the conversation, we've been able to point out that although the law permits him to make certain decisions, right, as it borders on his office, which is, of course, to protect lives and the property of Nigeria, which is the primary responsibility of everyone that happens to be in government. But from the question that he has asked, there is also a breach.
Yeah.
You are not supposed to legislate. You are supposed to regulate. What exactly is the MBA suing him for? Is it just for the tinted permit? And if yes, as regards what?
Okay, so let me list them out for you.
Okay.
The IGP is not making a legislation with this whole tinted thing.
Okay.
He's relying on the tinted permit prohibition decree of 1991, which is a military decree. Now, the NBA is going to court to ask, to clarify that in this democratic era, can we still be relying on a military decree to pass laws in Nigeria? The decree actually empowered the IGP to make regulations relating to tinted permits.
Okay.
Now, so the other questions the MBA is asking is that this money they are paying, why is it to a private account?
Okay.
You see that?
Mhm.
Why is it not going to the federation account?
Okay.
So that's what the courts were left for the courts to determine.
So it's seeming like if the payment goes down to the federation account,
The NBA will be okay with it.
And no, they are asking for transparency.
Mhm.
Transparency. Buhari's government
Not
brought about
exactly.
treasury single account so that all monies can go there
Okay.
and be used for everybody. So why is this one going to a private account?
So
Those are the questions that
It's
are
not
being
looking
asked.
as if the NBA exactly has a problem with the fact that the IGP is trying to regulate tint permits, right? It's looking like your problem is where the monies that are being collected goes to, which does not even exactly mean that you are on the side of Nigerians, because Nigerians will think that the entire reason for this suit should be, why at all are you kicking against the tint permit?
Exactly.
It's not exactly a problem, right?
Okay. Other questions that are being asked is that freedom of movement, freedom to own property. We are talking for Nigerians because Nigerians are stressed. We want to reduce the stress
on Nigerians.
Okay.
That's what we are looking for.
All right. Let's look at section 214, subsection 2B of the 1999 Constitution, which states that the Nigerian police force must be subject to the authority of law. Again, I hope you do answer this one. Does the IGP's unilateral ban on tinted glass permit violate this provision?
It's not an outright ban. It's saying people should get permits.
Okay.
Some of these languages, we have to correct them.
Okay.
It's not an outright ban. It's saying people should get permits so they will know who you are in your car.
Okay.
The questions we are asking, why am I paying 15,000 and renewing yearly? Because the 1991 decree doesn't even state that it should be renewed yearly. So why am I not even getting it once? If I buy my car today and I register it, why is it not the lifetime of the car? So those are the questions being asked.
Okay.
And you know, the thing is, this does not even directly influence the security consciousness that you're trying to talk about.
Truly.
Because a criminal can also get a tint permit.
Of course.
And if the criminal gets the tint permit, that means the criminal goes scot-free.
Yes.
And you don't know. So it's not, it looks like, do you think it's more of extortion than regulation?
I don't want to say it's extortion
Okay. Why so?
because they have their reasons why they said you should pay so amount.
Okay.
Personally, what I will recommend, let there be data sharing.
Okay.
If I'm going to get my vehicle papers from FRSC, why not just add another 5,000
Yeah.
to it? So
Yes.
I'll know if I'm getting a permit for tint, I'll just add it and do it once.
Okay.
Let's just reduce this burden on Nigerians.
Okay. All right. From all indications, this is not a matter that we can have like absolute clarity on
At the
right
moment,
now,
right.
especially as the court has not sat
Yes.
concerning this matter.
True.
It's just a suit that is being filed against the IGP as of now. So when the matter is being sat in court and we hear the perspective of the IGP
Yeah, and the proceedings.
and the proceedings, then we can decide for sure what this entire matter is about. Because the truth is, if we are claiming that the reason for this regulation is to curb insecurity, this does not directly influence that, and I don't think this plays a key role in completely eradicating insecurity in Nigeria. Because the last time we checked, these people are in forests, they're in the bushes,
Yeah.
they're not exactly on the roads. But if they are on the roads, look at the kind of sketchy checks that happens at the checkpoints. Do they actually even check? You know, the boots, what have you?
Yeah.
Are they is it an effective system? These are the questions that will spring up after that proceedings in court.
Definitely.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I think it's time to say thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Mr.
It's all
Daiko
right.
Francis,
Thank you for
for
having
joining
me.
us on the show
Appreciate
today.
it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It's
All
been
right.
a pleasure.
Okay, back to us.
Right, back to us right here in the studio, and we've talked about the tinted glass permit stuff, and I think it's important, first of all, for Nigerians out there to know, well, until this matter is decided in court, you probably just have to get your tinted glass. permit, so that you don't drive your tinted glass vehicles in violation of the law. Until the proceedings are concluded, then Nigerians can now know exactly what to do after now. But of course, the NBA have taken the IGP to court, and just like our guest has been saying here, the NBA is trying to fight for Nigerians so that the burden that is on the shoulders of Nigerians can as well be reduced.
And I think that this will be a defining moment for Nigeria and Nigerians as well. If this matter is not critically looked into, anything can just be passed as a bill.
Surely.
And by that I mean, we have seen incessant taxes being introduced into the system. We talked about the 5% tax and levy that will be, being on fuel prices from January next year.
Right.
We talked about that. And a whole lot of the personal income tax, which we ought to have discussed here on the show, or we did discuss sometime here on the show, and all of these taxes that have been introduced by the federal government. While I understand that the easiest way to grow an economy, or the fastest way to grow an economy, is to tax the system, we
And
also
that might be argued.
It might be
because
argued,
no nation tax its way to prosperity.
No nation taxes its way to prosperity, right? But there's a reasonable amount of revenue can be generated from taxing businesses that operate here in Nigeria.
Definitely.
But yes, you cannot tax poverty. Most of these nations that uphold taxing system are systems that have a lot of things functional. So we're having a healthcare functional.
Right.
We're having every system literally in their government functional. So it's easy to tax such a system. Systems that have credit people can use credit cards. There are nations of the world where people can literally live on loans, right? But we have a system here where you have to work for what you have to use, and what you literally will work for everything you need to own. So there's no sort of balance between the taxing system and provision for the people in the system. No provisions for the people to earn. We just see the government taking away from the system. Now, a lot of Nigerians have argued that this is extortion on its own, because if the people are constantly being taxed and the right environment for businesses to thrive here in Nigeria is not being created, it's definitely extortion.
And of course, if you look at it, many businesses are living in Nigeria. Since 2023 up until now, we've had big businesses, big conglomerates leave the shores of Nigeria. Tech giants as well stepping out of Nigeria. We talked about it earlier on the program, where we have lots of our startups leaving Nigeria to other African countries, and that's the painful part of the whole thing. If they were going to European countries, Asian countries, then you could even say, okay, maybe they see something more better in those countries. But from Nigeria to another African country, and of course, those countries begin to enjoy some of the things that Nigerians would have been enjoying.
Employment rates as well.
Skyrocketing over there. So I think what is more important, is for the government to look into the plight of Nigerians. The burdens on the shoulders of Nigerians are a lot. And of course, this administration have called on Nigerians to be patient with the administration. Just sometimes last week, the president did mention that they are done with borrowing. Again, sometimes last week, it was also mentioned
Barely 3 days after
that a World Bank loan has been approved. So these are, certain statements that contradict each other. But again, fingers are crossed, hopes are high. We're hoping that the matter of the tinted glass is going to be sorted out, and just maybe Nigerians can smile again, and one burden can be taken away from the shoulders of Nigerians. But I think this is how far we can go on the program today. Thank you so much for staying here with us. My name is Victor Ake.
And my name is Martha Alo.
Do remember that you can be part of our conversation by joining us, liking our pages across all social media platforms at Rapid Television, or rather Rapid TV, on Instagram, on X, on Facebook, on TikTok, Rapid TV, and on YouTube, where you can watch us live and also get to rewatch our episodes right on YouTube. Is at Official Rapid TV on YouTube. And remember that you can always watch us on the go using our website, www.rbnradiotv.com, www.rbnradiotv.com. That's the website that you can as well watch us every single day. And please, if you're driving, do not watch it. Keep your phone aside until you get to a cozy place, and then you can always join the program. Of course, we're going to be here with you again tomorrow to give you further updates of the things going on in our country and, of course, the world. Once again, my name is Victor Ake.
And my name is Martha Alo. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.